Speaking to me now, the former undisputed middleweight champion of the world, light heavyweight champion of the world, Joe CALZAGHE. Joe, what do you think of the final of the Super Six?
What do you think about it? Well, Andre Ward won the fight comfortably. I thought he'd win the fight, and what surprised me is the way he sort of bossed Froch on the inside. So yeah, it was a good fight. He's a good fighter.
If you were in the ring with Andre Ward at your prime, how would you go around boxing him?
If I would fought Andre Ward in my prime, I'd beat him. Of course I'm going to say that, but I think I would. I think Andre was a good fighter, but I honestly believe that I'd be too busy and have too many angles, too busy, too strong. So yeah, I think it'd be a tough fight, but I'd win.
You're widely regarded as arguably the greatest ever boxer from Great Britain, but where would you place yourself at the world level?
This is not for me to say. I don't really. I'm proud of my achievements, and when people put me in the list of one of the best fighters the UK had, obviously I'm very proud. But it's not my place to say how good I was, because the thing is, every champion from every era is a great fighter, and it's up to one person's interpretation to who is actually the best. So people that consider me, I'm humbled and I'm proud of that, but it's not for me to say if I'm the best or not.
How do you feel you would have done if you'd have been born 10 years earlier and been in the mix with guys like Eubanker's prime, Nigel Benn, Steve Collins, guys like that? How would you think you'd have done in that sort of era?
It'd been tough, of course. What do you want me to say? At the end of the day, I'm a winner, so I like to think I could have beaten any super middleweight of any era, because that's what champions think. But I know one thing, it'd be very, very hard, because they were great fighters. So all them fighters you just mentioned are excellent fighters.
For a short while, your first 4 or 5 years of your career was going slowly. I know you had a lot of injuries that holding you back. Did you feel that, like I said, you've been born a little bit too late? Did you feel a little bit bitter that you weren't in the Eubank, Ben, Collins era, which was classed at the time as a glory era for British boxing?
Not at all. Listen, I feel blessed that I managed to fight 46 fights undefeated. That I was a world champion for 11 years, one of the longest reigning champions of all time. I like to think I come out looking pretty good. So thank God, I feel blessed. So no, not at all. I think my path was to fight when I did. If I'd been around in that era, I'm pretty positive I wouldn't have been around for 10 years, because they would have been ferocious fights, very hard, and you'd have like big fights all the time. And why I was champion for so long with the longevity is because it took me 8 years to get my fight as a champion against Jeff Lacey. So I was always hungry to prove myself, not just in the UK but worldwide. And financially, I needed to fight. I needed to win. So you have to weigh all that things up, man. So listen, I'm happy. I'm happy for what I did in boxing, and I'm very proud.
Were there any fights during your 11 years as world champion that you would have liked to have made but just didn't happen for whatever reason?
Yeah, there's fights. I think the obvious one is Sven Ocker, because he was an IBF champion for a few years and he retired undefeated. But I always felt that he sort of he avoided me. Also, I thought he lost a lot of fights that he had a hometown decision. But he's a clever guy. I think he also knows what would have happened before. I honestly think I would have knocked him out.
Do you follow boxing closely these days? Are you involved in the game at all?
Do I follow boxing much? Not really. No. That's obviously I like watching world title fights. I love to come and support like Nathan and Enzo and people that are close to me like Gavin Rees but no, I don't really sort of watch it all the time. No.
Do you feel boxing's on a decline? I mean, a lot of people are saying the same with cage fighting and other influences boxing on a decline. Would you agree with that statement?
I don't think so. Listen, boxing is a great sport. Obviously, you go up, you have ups and downs in any sport. Unfortunately, it's not that many big names worldwide. Obviously you got Pacquiao, Mayweather, and so on. But no, it's one of them things.